So I just got back from seeing the 2018 Tomb Raider movie that is now in theaters. And like I did with Assassin's Creed, I thought it'd be fun to turn on the camera and just kind of ramble for a bit, say what I thought of the movie, what I liked, what I didn't, and whether it's worth seeing. I'm typically not a movie review channel, but in the case of video game movies, I'm always compelled to see them. I think they're relevant to my channel because I do gaming content. And I'm always hoping that they'll break the stigma and be good. I like my fair share of video game movies, but at minimum, they're all at least incredibly flawed. And I'm always just hoping for that one video game movie that's just competently made across the board, that's a lot of fun, that's a good movie that anyone can really get into. And my God, they've done it. This Tomb Raider movie is very good. I'm so happy that I can finally say that. Now, this isn't the first Tomb Raider movie. There was that Angelina Jolie one. There's actually two of those. And I remember, I haven't seen them in years, but I remember liking that first one. It's dumb, and it's cheesy, and it's dumb. It doesn't make much sense. It's dumb. Its effects don't hold up at all, and it's dumb. But it was a pretty faithful adaptation of those original Tomb Raider games where, they had a feminine hero that just oozed sex appeal, and they were doing stunts and flips and dual pistols and all that, and it worked. It's dumb, but I could watch it any day. I don't remember the second one at all. I think there was a shark at some point. This one, though, is based on the 2013 Tomb Raider game, the reboot, and also borrows plot elements from Rise of the Tomb Raider, its sequel. And so this one is going for a more... Saying realistic or grounded just seems silly because it's not, much like the game. It's more going for, a more nitty-gritty kind of feel. It's more realistic in a sense in that Laura isn't really, backflipping around, shooting guys with pistols. When she has to pull herself up a ledge, it's a struggle. It's an actual physical exertion, which is actually kind of refreshing. I really like this movie. A lot. It's the best video game movie that has ever been made. It's the kind of movie that if you have played the games, if you've played the reboot, you'll walk in, you'll appreciate it, you'll recognize, oh, there's that action set piece that I remember playing through. Oh, there's that moment from the game. I remember that. But you don't have to have any knowledge of Tomb Raider to enjoy it. You can walk in as a casual moviegoer and still have a pretty good time, I think. In terms of the action, there are times when it's a bit few and far between, but the action is reasonably entertaining. There are times when the CG kind of lets things down. There are times when the effects look totally fine. I mean, you can't expect a giant storm to come rolling in naturally, so you kind of buy that kind of stuff. But when she's dodging projectiles or leaping across things, there's just moments where that's not her. That's not an actress anymore. That's a computer person that you are banging around. It's clear and it's jarring when it happens because it takes you out of it, especially because it's trying to go for more, grounded, nitty gritty kind of feel to it. So when the actress gets replaced by CG woman, it stands out. Laura, who's portrayed by what's her name? Alicia Vikander? That sounds right. Alicia Vikander. She does great. She is not just phoning in a performance, which happens a lot in these video game movies. She's actually giving it her all. She's charming immediately. When she needs to portray anger or sadness or pain, she does it great. All the actors across the board are pretty good. The villain of the piece is I don't remember his name, but he's like a sleazeball in almost everything he's ever in, and he does that well. He's a sleazeball in this, and he's a good sleazeball. So he's kind of typecast, but it works. The only real weak point, I think, of the plot, really, and this isn't a spoiler by any means, is she has this kind of sidekick character. She kind of befriends this drunken boat captain to take her to the island that she has to get to. And she kind of establishes a rapport with him, and then at a certain point, the movie kind of forgets he exists for long periods. To the point where we're with Laura and we're following her and she's doing her thing, and then 10, 15 minutes go by and we cut back to him, and you go, oh, right, he's in the movie. They kind of forget he exists. And it's not so much his fault, it's just... if you're not going to use him, then I don't know why he's there. Unless there's just a bunch of cut scenes with him in it. because he could have been a good like buddy with Laura, but the movie forgets about him almost entirely for very long sections. What else? I thought that. Oh, one thing that I actually really appreciated about this movie is that it doesn't feel dumbed down. And by that I mean it doesn't feel the need to explain everything to the audience, where when a character is hurt, when a character is sad, when a character is struggling, the movie doesn't have to have the character go, oh, that hurts my side, or like, no, oh my God, I'm so alone, I'm scared. Like, it's all conveyed through action and emotion and the characters' faces, and it's just something that I appreciated as the movie went on. I kept watching it, and I realized they're not spoon-feeding me stuff, and I like that. I like that you're not treating me like I'm an idiot, that I can follow a movie. Which is more than I expect, typically, from video game movies, for them to do that. Also, if you're expecting her to get on the island quickly, just kind of... It takes like 35 minutes, probably, roundabout, for her to actually make it to the island and start the conflict of the Tomb Raider that was shown in the trailers. And that 30 minutes leading up is not bad. It establishes her character. It shows that she is totally competent and confident in her abilities to a degree, but still hesitates and isn't entirely sure of herself. And then when she gets to the island, that all starts to evolve. But it kind of feels like an entirely different movie when it gets to the island. So just if you're like, where's the island? Why aren't we at the island yet? Just give it a bit, and then when it gets there, you'll be satisfied, I think. And then what else? The entire point of this movie and the reboot is that this is kind of Laura's origin story, and that it's showing how she became the adventurous murder machine that we all know and love. And I kind of have a bit of a problem with the movie, and it's the same problem I had with the game, in that she has to kill people. Like, she has to do it. She doesn't have a choice in the situation that she's in. In the game, she does her first kill, and she freaks out about it for like 10 seconds, and then immediately is headshotting people like she's Rambo, like no remorse, like, oh, boo-hoo, anyway, bang, bang, bang. And it's very jarring. It's one of those times where the gameplay and the story, they conflict with each other. In the movie, they handle it, I guess, a little bit better because there's more of a gap between her first kill and her second. She kills her first guy, and she doesn't really react all that much. It's like the one weak part, I think, of her developing as a character, in that she kills someone and like she kind of like looks at him and maybe tears up a little, but that's it. Like it lasts 5 seconds, and then something else happens and she goes off to deal with that. Although the benefit is that, unlike in the game where you're gunning down people immediately after that moment, in the movie there's a significant time gap between the first kill and the second. Although she kind of, I don't know, it doesn't quite earn her badassness. Like, it's established at the beginning that Laura is totally competent, she can fight, she knows how to use a bow, that kind of thing. In fact, in this entire movie, she never fires a gun, I don't think. No, I think she only ever uses her fist or her bow. But you know, she kind of becomes Solid Snake, like, pretty quick. Like, I mean, I guess if you're thrown into a life or death situation, you just have to adapt or die, and that's how it works out. But it's a bit jarring. Those elements feel a little bit rushed. But as a movie, I think it's very well acted. The action is pretty good, although there are times when the CG kind of lets the whole thing down. It doesn't treat you like an idiot most of the time, which is always appreciated. And I would really like to see more of these. I really do think that whether you're a fan of the games or not, you'll enjoy the movie. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie as a fan of the game, so I think it's absolutely worth seeing. I recommend it. And if you took your friends or your family along and they have no experience with the games, I think they'll still have an enjoyable time with it. You don't have to really worry about that. So if I were to rate it on my 1 to 10 scale, which I'm going to, man, on the curve of video game movies, I would want to give it like an 8 out of 10, because it's really that much better than 98% of video game movies. But as a movie on its own, if I'm just taking standalone, I'd probably give it a nice, solid, fun 7 out of 10. I would recommend seeing it, or at least watching it at some point if you're a fan of the games at all. And yeah, if they can make more, not just movies in this series, I would love to see sequels to this, but if they just make video game movies up to this standard, up to this level of competence, they would lose their stigma. And I really hope that any other video game movie that's in production right now, whether it's Asteroids or Tetris, I really hope that they look at this and take notes. They can learn a lot from 2018 Tomb Raider. So that was my rambling about Tomb Raider. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, got something out of it, and let me know if you have seen the movie. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below, and I hope you have a great day.